What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I'm going to be going over Jumanji's ending. I'm going to do an ending explained for Jumanji, the next level, a movie that obviously just released in theaters a few days ago, depending on when you guys are seeing this video. Now, we're going to be talking about the future of Jumanji as well in tomorrow's video about the potential for Jumanji 3, but this is going to be a spoiler video. Obviously, we're going to be going over what happens in the ending and what could or could not, I don't want to spoil it right this second, happen for the next movie, and if there could be a next movie. So again, if you don't want to know or you haven't seen the movie yet, turn away now. And this is really, it's not necessarily something that needs to be explained to you, although maybe if you've never seen the original Jumanji, the one with Robin Williams, then maybe, you wouldn't know what's going on. But obviously, they complete the game, they beat Jumanji for the second time, and all of them, they come out of the video game, okay? So everybody gets rescued. Milo and Grandpa Eddie, or Milo actually stays behind as the horse. Weird choice, but he stays behind as the horse, and Grandpa Eddie, he comes out. He ends up, kind of like co-running Nora's shop, which is the one that they sold their shop off to back in the day, or maybe even just a few years ago, depending on the timeline. And all the, the kids are back. Everybody's happy. Everybody's good. And then obviously the mom, finally, the heater repair guy, who where was he a day ago? Because I guess he showed up a day late. He comes. He obviously sees the console that Jumanji is plugged into, or inserted into, and he makes mention of the fact that he's an old school gamer, looks really cool. He touches it, and then at the end of the movie we see, or we hear, the noises of like the drum beats of the Jumanji theme, and we also see all the ostriches running through the street. So like the whole herd of them that was also kind of in the beginning of the movie, the first level they had to face in the movie. So what this means is it's pretty much doing, in a way, in more of like a 21st century way, of repeating what the original Jumanji did, that the game comes to life in the real world. Not that they go into the game, but that the game takes place in the real world. And so it very much sets up a potential sequel. Now, the fact that everybody's going to be, everything in that game, villains, heroes, and we're going to be talking about that in a second, they are all going to be, running rampant in the real world. And I think it's really cool because now you get the potential for the kids, and they're not necessarily kids, right? They're college age students, but you get the potential of the humans that have always just been controlling these avatars, or their personality is in them, with now the actual characters from the game. So now I think we're going to get a really nice mix of not just like the younger cast, but the the kind of like the triple A star cast that we've seen in both the movies, that are kind of like the main stars of the entire thing. I think that's a really cool premise. I think out of all of the movies, if you've watched them and you're like, it's loosely tied right to Jumanji. They don't necessarily need that name, but they have fun with it. They do it their own way. I think they have a good amount of success in capturing, not necessarily capturing the magic, but they do it in their own way, and it works really well. I think both these two movies have been pretty well received. I think if you look at what they are thinking of, at least, and if they make it, we'll talk about that in tomorrow's video, but what they're thinking of for a third movie, it seems to be the closest to, again, paying, I guess, respects to what the original was all about. So instead of them going into the world, now the world comes out basically to them. I think that's a really solid premise. I think the potential there is actually pretty unlimited in terms of what they could actually do in terms of, and I want to save some of the stuff, but now we get to see what these characters are like. Brave Star, I guess I'll just say like the actual actors' characters, but like The Rock, Kevin Hart, what are these characters like in the game if they're not being controlled by these students, right? And that's what you would ultimately get, because now they're running, and I would assume that it is more like the first movie, where I don't think they're going to be like on loops, so characters, and I feel like they're going to be very confused as to where they are, or maybe they'll still have like the same objectives as they would in the game, but they don't know how to process that because they're in a different world. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to kind of be like the first, like Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, and kind of reversed, right? Because now you're going to have Bravestone, you're going to have all these characters coming into into the real world, let's call it, and they're going to be just as confused as the younger cast was when they went into their bodies. Only this time, we get to have both. We get to actually have all 8, or if you want to even include Nick Jonas's character, you could have way more characters being, all on the screen actually simultaneously. And I think that really does have the potential to be a really awesome movie. If you wanted to end it, which I would assume, having this be a trilogy was the overall idea. If you wanted to wrap it up in any way, I feel like that would be the number one way to do it, to have both kind of sets of casts be able to meet each other. That way you can see, like, oh, Spencer gets to see The Rock. Like, they actually get to see each other, and he could kind of see maybe how he acts without him being in his body. Or maybe, again, they could do like a more emotional thing where it's like they wish that they could have controlled them because they're kind of like envious or jealous of their power, of their looks, of their features. I know only a couple of them actually feel that way. I don't know why you would want to go into Jack Black's body, and they've made that very clear in the movies, but stuff like that. So I think that you could work it very emotionally. I think you could work it kind of like just in like a cutesy, nice, like feeling way, and that would be how you would end your trilogy. I think that's a fantastic idea. I didn't expect that to be the ending. I thought they would do something else, literally, like they kind of did in the first movie, where it leaves the possibility open that, hey, they could jump back in the game if they wanted to, but they made it very clear multiple times that, like, they never want to do that again. So now the only way we get to have both of those sets of casts in it again is if it's exactly what the movie did at the end, if it's reversed, and they're kind of forced now to do whatever they need to do in order to send them all back to the game, which I would then envision the ending of the third one being like literally destroying not just the console but the cartridge itself of Jumanji, like them smashing it as one of the final shots of the movie. So guys, that's the ending to Jumanji The Next Level. It was unexpected to me. I didn't think that was going to happen in it, but I thought, it's like the mid-credit scene of the movie, so don't go, don't leave the theaters, or if you, obviously if you guys have seen it, but it's not an after-credit scene, I wouldn't call it, but it's not at the very tail end of the movie either. They have some credits, and then that scene plays. So very exciting. I love the movie. We're going to be talking about the third movie again, or talking about the possibility and all the things we've heard about the third movie in tomorrow's video. So if you guys are into this movie or you enjoyed it, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that bell icon, and we're going to have more Jumanji videos in the very near future, and I hope to see you guys there.
Hey guys, firstly, thank you so much for getting to this far, this at the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. I do want to quickly remind you guys, we are doing a community event on December 21st. It is the Saturday. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. If you guys want to play with us, we have the video up on the channel. Make sure you guys go watch that video and leave in the comments that you want to play with us. It's also a live stream event, so you guys just want to kind of swing by, watch us play the game, have some fun right before Christmas. It's going to be an absolute blast, and I hope to see you guys there.